So, I wanted to give my perspective with this NFT thing, or whatever it's said in English, because I have seen some of the discussions that are on the internet, and kind of the arguments that I see from both sides are kind of bad, and they are not the arguments that I will make for disliking the NFT thing. I have kind of a perspective that is coming from being an artist and from having been in art school. That maybe is a new one that you haven't heard, because I personally haven't heard anyone telling it. So let's see. So first thing, when I will explain quickly what NFTs are. I'm not going to go into much detail because I'm not an expert. If you want many details, go to a video specifically explaining what it is in deep. But what it is essentially like a way to use some digital calculation to add, to mint. They don't have to be drawings, but since we are talking about this, let's say drawings, okay? They can be videos, tweets, or whatever. But they basically kind of mint or mark certain image, and that makes that drawing or whatever unique. The comparison will be that in real life you make a drawing and you make it in a sheet of paper, and that drawing is unique. There's only one drawing has been done by you, and you can use a copier to make copies, but they are copies. They are not the original. So the original has more value. In digital, this doesn't work this way, because you do a drawing in a digital tablet, and there's just an archive in your computer, and you have tons and tons of copies. Anyone can right click and save, and there's lots of images, and they are all the same. But with NFT, they add some kind of mark, and that makes that specific drawing to be like the original drawing. And so it costs more because it's like an original illustration that you do in real life. So that's the theory. And they do it with videos, they do it with I have seen tweets, and people make a screenshot of something that has happened, and then mints it makes it an NFT, and they sell it and they win money. And this all apparently operates in cryptocurrency. I don't think that you can buy one of those things with real money, but I am not an expert. So that's kind of the overall thing. And I am not. I don't like it, but I am not like super strongly like I'm not going to do activism about it, trying to stop NFTs from happening or whatever, because I see why people do it. Like I will explain why I don't like it, but personally I think that the only reason to do NFT is to make money. But I mean, it's not a bad reason. And apparently you can do insane amounts of money. Like I have seen artists do very, very simple stuff and win millions of like I think it was just this week that Stone Toss released like 50 very quick drawings in NFT, and he won $2 million. So it's kind of an easy way to win a lot of money if you have a name, because I don't think that many people are going to buy NFTs of minor artists, but if you are relatively known, you can win a lot of money with it. So yeah, it's a way. Like since I support capitalism in a way for many reasons, but one of the reasons is because I think poor people can use their ideas, their good ideas, to make a lot of money and not be forever poor. So since I support that, I also have to support the concept that NFTs help an artist to get a lot of money. and become rich using their own work. So in that regard, I see it as an okay thing. So I'm not super strongly against it, but personally I do not like it. And the arguments I have seen, I'm going to say first the arguments I have seen and then explain my own. So, for example, in favor of it, aside of the money, of course, that's a reason I have seen in favor. But one reason I have seen in favor is people say that now that we have NFTs, like this is good for artists because artists now can digitally sign their works and finally they can have copyright of their art. This is utterly false. This is stupid. Like any artist, the moment that you do a drawing or a video or whatever and you upload it to the internet, the moment you do it, a work of art is yours. You have copyright over it. You can do anything related to it. You can sell it, stop other people from selling it. You can make stores take it down because it's yours. You have the intellectual property over it. There is nothing new that NFTs are doing about it. That like, if you make your drawing an NFT, you just have a paper that says that is the original drawing, but you already have that. Like, I have the PSDs and the archives that I have used to make the drawing in my computer. I can prove it's mine. So if I have to sue someone because they are selling t-shirts with my drawings, I can do it and I will win. And they will have to take it down and pay me. So NFTs are not doing anything in that regard. So this is an idea that is extended by people who either they're doing it on purpose because they want to lie to support NFTs, or because they are the kind of people who thinks that if you load something to the internet, you lose your rights. Because there are many people who think that if you upload your drawing to the internet, it's not yours anymore. And that's also stupid. I mean, it is one thing to say that you can control what happens on the internet, which is true. Like if you upload a drawing to Twitter, people are going to right click and save it. People are going to probably make a poster of it because they like it and put it in their room. People are going to repost it, and people are going to make memes with it, and you are probably not going to be able to control that in any meaningful way. So better not even try. But you have complete copyright over it, and if you, for any reason, want to stop someone from doing what they're doing, you can. Like, the most obvious example is that if you see that a store is selling t-shirts or posters or whatever with your drawing, you can go and say, this is my drawing, you are making money of my product, and I am not winning money of that product, that is mine, so you have to take it down. You can do that at any point. So don't try to trick artists into believing that they need NFTs for this, because this is not how it works. Now, arguments that I have seen against it, in the same way that people use the NFTs is good for artists because you can mint it, there are people saying that NFTs are bad for artists because people are stealing your art to make an NFT of it. And this kind of comes from the same place, of people thinking that you don't have the rights of the drawing. Like if someone, like they think that if someone makes an NFT or your drawing, you lose the rights of the drawing because the other guy has a paper that says that that drawing is theirs. No, that's not how it works. Like a paper saying that you have an NFT of an image is like wet paper. It has no power in court, no power in anywhere. Like if I make a drawing, I upload it to the internet, and someone makes an NFT of it and sell it, I'm sorry for the person who bought that, but they have nothing. Like the drawing is mine and they have nothing. So, because you see people on Twitter, for example, saying, "Oh, DeviantArt has detected that some of my drawings have been made NFT, and people start to say, oh, NFTs lead to steals, and no, that already happened. Like DeviantArt also warns me of people using my drawings for all kind of stuff. You can find your drawings if you go to eBay. You can easily find your drawings in stores that are selling T-shirts of your drawings, and you have to ask to take it down. And I have seen, if you go to an anime convention, like if you want to scare the store owner a little, you can go to them and ask them if they have the rights of all of the posters they are selling, because they sell a lot of fan art that they have downloaded from the internet, and it's illegal. They technically can't do that. But I mean, nothing is gonna happen because I mean, they are not gonna care, and the convention is probably not gonna care, so nothing is gonna happen. But it's technically illegal. So another argument that I see against it is the environmental thing. Like they say that to create NFTs, to mint the NFTs, they need to go through a process that goes through the machines that operate the cryptocurrency, and those apparently consume a lot of energy because people use a lot of graphic cards in tandem to mine Bitcoin, and that consumes a lot of energy with all of the people who are, I think it was like the amount of energy consumed by the people who are using Bitcoin is equal to a country, an entire country. So it's a lot of energy. So the argument is that NFTs are bad for the environment because all of that electricity. But I think that's a very flawed argumentation, or fallacious argumentation, because NFTs are not the thing that is doing that. Like, I mean, NFTs are using the same machines that are used for cryptocurrency. So those machines are going to be working independently of if you do NFTs or not. Like, the machines are mining Bitcoins or Ether coins or Dogecoins or whatever. So if you are worried about the environment, you shouldn't be attacking NFTs. You should be attacking cryptocurrency. And then your argument will make sense. If you want to stop cryptocurrency because of the energy cost, okay, that will make sense. But saying don't make NFTs because it's bad for the environment doesn't make sense, because if we right now stop all of the NFTs in the world, the machines will still be operating for mining Bitcoin, so it will be exactly the same. It wouldn't mean anything. And another reason they see against it is like people saying it's a scam, and I am not entirely sure what they mean about this. I think if they mean that it's a scam, in that if you are a regular person and you buy an NFT, I mean, I personally think that it's very stupid for an independent person to buy an NFT. It's like a very dumb thing. I mean, you do you if you want, but I think this is something that is more used by rich people to do speculation, or by crypto. I don't know how to. The people who work on cryptocurrency, however they are called, they do speculation with the Bitcoin, and they probably use NFTs to do the speculation. So I think that those people are not being scammed because they know what they are doing and they are winning money. So I don't know why they will be scammed. And if they mean the people who just buy an NFT because, I mean, if we are talking about, for example, in Spain, there's a case now of a famous YouTuber, one of these YouTubers who are like for kids, for teenagers, and they have released like a number of what they call Willy coins that are kind of, they're an image of a coin, but it's an NFT, and they sell it for real money, or for Ether coins or whatever. So I am guessing that there's probably going to be a number of kids and teenagers who follow that guy, and it's, like their idol, and maybe they will use their money to buy the stuff, and yeah, that thing would probably be a scam. But it's a scam not because the NFT on itself is a scam, but because there are people who use it to make scams. I don't know if I'm explaining myself with it. Like the NFT is as guilty of the scam as $1 is guilty of someone scamming you for $100. I think that's what I want to mean. So those are not very good arguments against it, but here's my argument. So I hate, no, not hate, but I dislike the NFTs because I think they represent the start in the digital world of what is what destroyed the artistic world in the real life. So I'm going to explain how this works. Like when I went to art school, I found out this, and it was very discouraging. In the artistic world, when we talk about the artistic world, we mean like the elite artistic world, like the museums and the artists who are winning thousands of dollars for each piece they do, this kind of elitist artistic world is not moved by quality. Like the quality is absolutely irrelevant. In fact, in art school, they even hate formalism. Formalism is when you do drawings that are similar to, it's not that they are similar to real life, but they are, this is hard to explain. Like there is formal drawings and abstract drawings. And abstract is, well, you have seen abstract. And not only abstract, but postmodernist as well. Like, for example, you have seen probably the banana stuck in a wall. That was recently, there was a case with a banana in a wall. That's postmodernist art. There is nothing of quality in it. There is no one who has made a sculpture or has made an illustration or whatever. It's just some abstract postmodernist thing. And there is another famous case of a guy who didn't have his works of art in time for a exposition, and he picked up a toilet and he put it in the middle of the exposition, and it was like a new work of art, and it's worth millions. And it's a very stupid thing. That's a work of art that has made a lot of artists like open their eyes to the stupidity of the artistic world. So if you go to art school or the elite artistic world, what they praise is that kind of thing, like the postmodernist or abstract art. But if you do something that has a formal quality, like you do an illustration of, I don't know, a castle on a cavalry charge with a lot of details, or you do a sculpture, like the old sculptors from old Greece, these incredibly good sculptures that has like insane amount of details, and if you see those sculptures, they are incredible. The art school usually hates that kind of art, and what they praise is the toilet in the middle of the room. And the reason they do this is performative. Like when you go in, you are confused as to why the teachers are supporting this, but when you spend some years on it, you realize that it is performative. Like they really don't like those stuff, but they have to perform as if that is what they like. It's kind of similar to the cultural war that we have, and how people have to perform that they are very much into the ideology of their side of the culture war, and they have to perform a lot about it. It's kind of similar, that they perform that they like the stuff, and that is what they have to do, because that is the stuff that gives you money in the elite and museum artistic world. And the reason for it is because the speculation. Because what the rich people do is they buy work of art of people who has a name already in the industry, and then they wait on it until it was worth more money, and then they sell it. So what is important in the artistic world is not that the art has any kind of quality. It only matters that you have a name because you have made something that made people very curious. For example, the toilet thing was a thing that people were like, what is this? So that made the guy kind of popular, because that made him famous, and the world of art started to be a lot of worth. And I think it was the same guy who also later, I'm not sure if it was the same guy, but I think he was the same guy, did a work of art, quote unquote, that was his own shit. Like he put his own shit in bottles and he sell them for a lot of money. And the reason is because of the speculation. Like, you make yourself a name because you do something that raises a lot of attention, because you did something stupid or something flashy or whatever. Then you have a name, and rich people buy your work. So what they do is basically they spawn a lot of works, quote unquote, works of art that are flashy and raise attention, but they are very easy to do. So they can do tons and tons and tons and tons and sell them for a lot of money. So they become rich because they sell a lot of stuff, of low effort stuff. Like, for example, another famous case was a guy who did it was a blank canvas, a completely blank canvas, nothing on it, with a straight line in the middle. And I think that's also another work of art that sold for a lot of money. And it was very stupid, but that's how it is. It's people making works of art, quote unquote, that are... That's why you go to a museum and half the shit you see is like very stupid, and you see, I could do this myself, because they do something very quick, so they can do a lot of them and sell each of them for a lot of money because they have a name. So now we come to NFTs. So up until now, this is something that plagued the physical world, like the elite museum artistic world in real life. But the digital world was not invaded by that. Like in the digital world, if you want to be an artist and you make a DeviantArt, or you make a Twitter, or you make an art station, you have to be good. You have to put actual quality into it. You have to do good illustrations. You have to do funny comics or good stories, or be good at sculpture, or be good at singing, or whatever. You have to, or if you are very good, you have to have very good public relationships and become famous because you move a lot in the world and relate to people or whatever. But you basically have to do something yourself of quality to succeed in this world and win money. And with Patreon, for example, helps you to do that, and all of that stuff. But when you introduce NFTs, you are introducing the real life world speculation thing into the digital world, because that's what's happened with this. Like, when you look at the people who are doing NFTs and winning a lot of money with NFTs, they are not minting a super cool illustration, that someone is gonna look at that illustration and say, wow, I love this illustration, it's super cool, so I want to have the original, but it's digital, so I can't have the original. And you say, oh, I will buy the NFT. That will be one thing. But if you look at the people making money with NFTs, they are the same as in the real world. They are people who are spawning practically copy-pasted images with very little variance that they can do in a few minutes, so they can upload a lot of them, make a lot of NFTs, and win a lot of money. And the reason they make money is not because they are good and people are buying them because they like them. It's because other cryptocurrency buyers are buying those images to speculate on them and then win more money later. It's exactly the same as in the real world. If you look at the famous, the monkeys, whatever, or chimpanzees, whatever, there was one of the most popular recently was just copy-pasted images of monkeys with a different color or a different hat. And if you look at the ones from Stone Toss, they are also, they are avatars, and they are almost all the same. They are very easy to draw, and I think he himself said that it only took 20 minutes for him to draw all of the NFTs, because they are very, very simple drawings. So that's basically why I dislike NFTs, because they are infecting a part of the artistic world that wasn't yet invaded by this stupid thing of name and speculation over quality, and they are bringing it to this world. So now, thanks to the NFTs, the digital world will also not be measured so much by quality, but by name and speculation. That's why I dislike this thing. And as I said, I don't blame really the artists who are doing it, because it's an easy way to win money. I mean, if you can win $2 million in 20 minutes, which obviously for you as an artist is a good thing. And if you are a speculator and you see an opportunity to win more money, obviously you are gonna do it. So that's why I'm not super like activist against it, but I don't like that the artistic digital world is going to turn into the shitty thing that the museums and the elite artistic world has become. I don't want it to turn that way, and I don't know what will happen. I don't know if it will turn so big that everyone will be forced to do NFTs, because otherwise, no matter how much they work, their quality is not going to produce results, because everyone is just buying the NFT things just because of the name and speculation. That's why I don't like the thing. I don't know if I have explained myself very well. I don't know if you have heard this argument to another person, but that's why I don't like it, and that's why I have kind of this conflicted relationship with it, because in Twitter I often make comments poking fun of their right-click save thing, because it's true. It's like I don't know why someone who's not a speculator will buy something like that. and I generally don't like it, but at the same time, sometimes I defend the NFT because people make very bad arguments about it, and that's basically it. If I think it has been a while since the last time I made one of these videos, but I think lately I don't find too much topics to make a video about, honestly. If I find a topic, I just made a comic. And that's it. If you like the stuff I do, you can support me on Patreon. It's basically my name on Patreon, Patreon/whatever Cucurullo, and my DeviantArt is Cucurullo, well, Cucurullo Art. And most of my social media are Cucurullo, so just search for Cucurullo, and until next time.